Today we're going to be using the Carrier Service Tech or Bryant Service Tech app to connect to this equipment with Bluetooth and be able to see data, update firmware, and stuff like that. So we've done videos on these apps before. You can click on them up here if you want to watch them, and they'll show you how to find literature on there, scan barcodes, look up warranty info, all that good stuff. But this newer feature for connecting to the equipment is what we want to talk about today. So I'm going to open up the Bryant Service Tech app. It gives me the choice here of logging in with an HVAC Partners ID or logging in as a guest. You could certainly log in as a guest and you'll be able to do a lot of the stuff that we normally do, but you won't be able to connect to the equipment. So to talk to this equipment with Bluetooth, you have to have an HVAC Partners login. If you don't have one, you can get one from your dealership as long as you are a Carrier or Bryant dealer. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to your distributor and they'll help you with that. So I'm going to click on here, log in with HVAC Partners. Mine's got the Face ID, so since I don't have a mask on, it should figure that out. So it pulls up the app here, all kinds of stuff that we can do. Today, we're gonna go down to the bottom left where it says Connect to Equipment. I'm gonna click on that. It's gonna scan for equipment in the area. We only have one in the lab, so it should only find one. But if you were at a house that had two condensing units, one for upstairs and one for downstairs, both of them would pop up, and you'd have to check the serial number to make sure it's the one that you want. In my case, there's only one, so I'm gonna click on that one. Then I'm gonna press pair down at the bottom. Now it's gonna connect to that equipment the very first time. Just like when you pair Bluetooth to your car, you gotta make sure those two guys are ready to talk to each other. I have the choice of looking at fault codes, live system data, or updating the firmware. I'm gonna pick fault codes here first, and it'll show you all the fault code that we've had on this unit since we installed it here in the lab. We turn power off a lot and play with it, so we've got a few things on here to look at. If there's actually any equipment failures, there'd be stuff like that on here too, but ours is all Bluetooth related. Down the bottom, I still have those same choices of fault, system, and firmware. If I click on system, I'll see live condensing unit data. So I'll be able to see compressor RPM, suction pressure and temperature, discharge pressure and temperature, voltages, superheat. This one is the 5-ton, so it happens to have the vapor injection module on it. So I'll be able to see that as well and what position that valve is in. All that kind of good stuff that I'll be able to look at on here. Now the data that I'm gonna see on here is the exact same data I'd be able to see at the wall control if I have the Evolution Connects or the Carrier Infinity. The data here is the same data you'll see there. It's just another way to look at it, nice and convenient from outside. The bottom right is the firmware. So I have 3 different firmware things I can update. The primary control, the Bluetooth module, which is the guy all the way down here on the bottom that blinks green or red, depending on whether you're connected or not. I can update his software, and then the actual inverter variable frequency drive itself I can update. Any one of those 3. Now mine are already updated, so it doesn't give me the option to update them, it just says release notes. But if there was the option to update it, it would have release notes on one side and update now on the other side, and I can update any one of these 3. You can also update those from the wall control, as long as your wall control is on Wi-Fi. You could do it there if you'd rather, right? But I can do it all from here and update those 3. So I can see fault codes, I can see live system data, and I can update the firmware from this app. Hopefully that helps you guys out when you're connecting to your very first one, which is hopefully very soon. And take a look at our other videos on how to use the Bryant and Carrier Service Tech apps. Thanks.